This information, it's based God want this man, he want to go to your department, Canadian Security Service in Ottawa, to know that don't think everything is okay. And my case in your country, you did put it behind to get your side from this building, your side walk forward, which is God want to send in this information to you today, March 7, to know that Canadian Security Service, you come in on the word breaking news on the investigation as happening in Canada, in Ottawa, this part here, you can see that what happening, same thing happening according to this man here by Japan earthquakes to your capital city, Ontario, Ottawa to Ontario. So God wants us sending this information to you to know that you have maybe only time to this month, March, which is this month, we are in the March 7. You have only time, according to this man, to I get paid from your department, Canadian Security Service, and your government and your federal department, to I get in moving out from your country. If you put behind this information, Canadian Security Service, you are coming under my investigation for lawsuit against your building in Ottawa to bring in basically a space fund to bring third war to your country. From I can say in this month, March, you be under serious in Ontario, serious space emergency, and this emergency continually, according to this man, because God want to bring your department, Canadian Security Service, under my investigation in Ottawa. By if I don't get paid in this short time, because I understand deadline is this month, March, I give to you deadline, Canadian Security Service in Ottawa, your government city, and to this man, let me I bring it to you. I give deadline to this man here, Justin Tutor in Ottawa. Deadline is I can say in this March, not pass. You must believe after March is no chance to your country to walk away from this investigation by a space attack. So I am bringing to you here to know that you have time in this month. I prepare myself, I get paid from your government to get moving out from your country, to not letting I come in working on the criminal department in your country, or terrorists in your country, or movement of the Muslim, Arab, or India, or this culture. So God know that this information must come to your government in Ottawa to know that if you believe in this happening, you must believe this is going to happen. You must believe this is on the way to happening to your capital city, Ottawa. And God want to give warning, not warning only, sending message to the news in your country to receive that deadline to your department, Canadian Security. I get paid for my investigation to your department, Canadian Security Service. I get paid from your country, your government, and prepare myself to move. In this month, March, according to this man, you have time for deadline. And I am sending to news what is going to happen by this angel coming to traveling to your country in the Ontario to Ottawa, directly to the Ottawa, your capital city. Two things coming to happen in Canadian Security Service in your country. Two things will happen according to this man, which is I bring it to you, which is happening here before. Which is happening before your capital city being destroyed, Canadian Security Service. This coming, according to the God, to bring a criminal in Canada, whoever is that, behind my cell phone, behind my laptop, behind my information for many years, bring those departments under news, under world news. So God want to, you taking this information must serious before space bringing your government in Ottawa, according to this sign on the news, on the world breaking news, bringing this man here in Ottawa on the world breaking news on the criminal investigation to this man and your department, Canadian Secret Service, for the movements of the negative behind my future in your country. So this information God want to go to your department and take this take very serious before 7th tsunami by earthquake God released into your country, which is coming to Ottawa, which is as God want I send into your, which is here, coming to here. So this information you have time, Canadian Security Service, actually I must send it to news, Canadian Security Service, you are under my investigation, you are under criminal investigation by me and under criminal investigation to your government, Justin Tutter, for a lawsuit against this man here in Ottawa for 8.7 earthquake to your capital city, Ottawa. I have lawsuit against your country, against your department, and against your government. So God wants you understand clearly, don't think everything is okay and everything is going to be okay. This month, I can say in 2 weeks, this month you have time. Before end of this month, you must believe Canadian Security Service, you are under my investigation for criminal activity behind my future. You did cast by the Muslim Arab or Iranian terrorist or other culture, India or other culture. So I am behind my future, which is I did told you, you must pay for this crime you did cast behind my future. If you don't pay Canadian Security Service building, my investigation belong to your government in Ottawa this. But this will be only begin this Japan earthquake to your capital city, Ottawa. According to this man, this information must go to News World.
8.9 magnitude. Now, we know that's a big number. It was the 5th largest earthquake in history. But you can only really understand the enormity when you see these pictures. An earthquake so strong it literally shifted the Earth's axis by about 25 centimeters. It all started at the epicenter near Sendai, 230 miles northeast of Tokyo. Shockwaves that gave birth to a massive tsunami that started 35 minutes later, Saigai, the Japanese word for disaster.
That tsunami reached 23 feet high in some places, nearly twice the height of me standing on Chris's shoulders, for example. And that wall of water is primarily the cause of a death toll that is in the hundreds, but is certain to rise, with 88,000 people.
This information coming to you, God want I send it to your building, Canadian Security Service. You are under criminal investigation, Canadian Security Service, in your country, in Ottawa, your capital city, which is your government city, for major earthquakes, for 8.7 to 9.1 earthquake coming to that part, to bring my investigation to your building, Canadian Security Service. But God want you believe and you understand. If you put behind this information, which is I did send few times, you must pay me, Canadian Security Service, for crime in your country you did cost me. I get paid and I move from your country. If you don't pay Canadian Security Service and your federal department for crime you did cost behind my future, you must believe third war will happen to your country. We leave the United States behind and England. I am not dealing with the United States or like in England. I am dealing with your country. I am not in England or I am not in United States. So you've been charged, Canadian Security Service, for on the criminal investigation for terrorist movement behind my future in Canada you did cast. And I want to bring lawsuit against your department, Canadian Security Service, on the criminal investigation. And I am sending this message because God wants I send in this message to you. If you don't pay for crime your country did cause behind my future, we will destroy your country from capital city Ottawa, as happening here 1900. And we will bring your government in Ottawa on the Sudan and Gomaro for this crime you did cause behind my future, Canadian Security Service, which is this man losing everything he have in Ottawa. He coming with his clothes only out on the street. He lose everything he have in the Ottawa. According to this man here, we will not let your country or your government walk away, Canadian Security Service. You must believe we will bring major tsunami from 2023 to completely crash down this department. Here you are. Let me bring it to you. Completely crash down this building, all this parliament you have, by major earthquake, major tsunami necessary. This is going to happen. If you don't pay Canadian Security Service for the crime you did cause in my life, in my future, and I am behind. So I am sending to you, according to this man, this information must go to news. You are under criminal investigation, Canadian Security Service, for lawsuit against your department by 7 earthquakes being released into your government in Ottawa, which is I must send to YouTube. And this 7 earthquakes will bring in by first earthquake, bringing your government on the world breaking news to answer who was behind my case you caused in this crime behind my future, connected to the police, connected to your federal department of CMP, connected to your Canadian security border, many crime behind my future, which is I bring into you investigation from this month March here. If you don't pay Canadian Security Service and you don't pay us CMP department what you did cause, we destroying your government in Ottawa by 9.1 earthquake to your capital city Ottawa. We make all your parliament building ashes, including this building here, be destroyed completely in your building, Canadian Security Service, on the criminal investigation for terrorist movements behind my future you did cause, and you must come on the news in this month. God know that. I did told you before, I will not let this man walk away in this month if he trying to let your country walk away. So I am sending this information to World News to receive that, especially you, United States, to remember that CIA, DIA, FBI department, if Canada not paying me in this month, March, I bring into you FBI, CIA, Sudan, and Gomaro to your Washington, D.C. to bring in you motherfucker on the deadly investigation. Who is in black culture, the motherfucker behind my case? They did this crime from Washington, D.C. You are. So I bring into you CIA, FBI, this. If Canada put behind this information in the YouTube, I bring into you CIA, FBI, this. I bring into you third war. Not this only, third war to Washington, D.C. This message same time to you, England. You must believe I am bringing to you deadly 1967, 1666 fire happening in the England. I bring into you England team, MI6, and government of England. For the crime of Canada, you connect and you letting Canada walk away behind my future. I bring into you deadly space attack, United England. To you remember 166, what happened into the England. And I bring into you second 1666 in the England by nuclear atomic explosion happening to England by tsunami. And this message to you same time European and NATO. If you don't investigation to government of Canada, they pay me, I get myself to move in from the country. I bring into you NATO building end of your building in the European. You must believe NATO, I bring into you biggest atomic explosion ever worse in the history. Ever worse in the history to you, European NATO, to why you did not investigation to the Canada While you're letting Canada walk away behind my case, what the space God releasing, what the space God sending to you many times, European. So I am coming against you not from March 15, which is this month. If Canada not paying me, European government and United States government, especially you England, I bring into you third war from space by many tsunami blackout in the England. If I don't get paid from Canada because you are behind the Canada, United States behind the Canada. So this information must come to the world news to receive that the third war I bring in from March to you United States and England and NATO. If Canada not pay me, I get moving from the country, which is I be bringing the government here on this part here. According to this man, third war, we will release to the Canada and bringing government of Canada by 7 tsunami on the international world news to word receive that they did crime behind my future and space came and attacking Canada for the end of their country.